Your statement that we need to remain united is definitely something that Europe has to bear in mind, but it also applies to the transatlantic partners. Ambassador Gardner is here representing the United States to the European Union. It's a pleasure to have you on this panel. The one topic in transatlantic relations that is not on the security agenda, but on the economic agenda is obviously at this time TTIP. And if I look at my own home country, Germany, I'm shocked by the way this discussion sometimes takes its turns, where there seems to be a loss of a strategic view on the importance of the relationship, but also on the implications of a failure of the agreement. I would like to ask you whether we are, in sort of our day-to-day discussion, underestimating the strategic importance that the transatlantic relationship in that geostrategic dimension which we are discussing on this panel actually needs a reinforcement, or whether we can just lay back and say we take it for granted. What's your take on this question?
Well, first of all, I want to say I'm happy to be back in Riga. I was here a few months ago with parliamentarians of the United States, of the European Union, and of Latvia. And we sat in the Saima. Christianis Cairns, whom I see in the audience, a good friend, was there. And I recalled some history, how in January 1991, Latvians braved freezing temperatures and Soviet tanks to protect their parliament and to protect their democracy. The next day, I took my children to visit the Museum of National Occupation to teach them some history about how Latvia was traded like a piece of real estate between two totalitarian regimes. Now, this history matters. That's why I'm mentioning it here today. Now, you talked about geopolitics. Trade is more than just about commerce. It's about strategic choices. And I can tell you I've traveled to 14 of the 28 member states. I hope to do all 28 to talk about TTIP. And I've talked about exactly this theme, that TTIP is more than just about trade. Now, don't get me wrong, this agreement will have to be judged on the merits as well of economics. And we're convinced that Latvia will be one of the winners because of its export orientation, because of Riga being a hub for trade. But this country understands very well the importance of strategic choices. The Prime Minister of Ukraine understands this better than anybody else. Free trade agreements are geostrategy. And when I go onto the website of RT, just to get some laughs, I see the disinformation that's being peddled about this agreement. The Kremlin hates this deal, to be clear, because it would be good for Europe, it would be good for the United States, it would be good for the transatlantic economic partnership. And just finally, you know, this deal is not about voting for deeper and faster globalization. It's about shaping globalization in the way we want it shaped. It's about making the rules and not taking the rules. That's what I try to explain. And if people see the text that's just been released, for example, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, you'll see a lot of the things in that text that we're trying to achieve, shaping the rules of global trade.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Gardner.